if we ask anybody if they've gone through an adversity in life, depending on their mood, you will get a yes or a no answer. So if they're in a good mood, or if they've just accomplished something, then the answer will be like, not adversities, but challenges. I love to learn from the challenges of my life. And if you meet them while they're going through that adversity, the answer will be, हाँ यार, ये दुख है खत्म नहीं होता. Adversities are as much a part of our life as we would like the advantages to be. 2010 was a turning point in my life. After losing my father, I thought I had gone through the 5 stages of grief and through all the many wisdoms that I had achieved through reading, which we've learned, right, that if you read, you're wise. And if you read, you learn from the lives of so many. So I thought that I have learned from the lives of so many because I've read so much. And I thought I'm so wise and I have such an amazingly compartmentalized mind. And wow, I moved on from the death of someone who mattered so much to me, so well, so healthily. And then I went about and did something so incredibly stupid. I got married to the wrong person. And that is when I realized that my real adversity started. 5 years of abuse, crazy toxicity in life, pregnancy, childbirth, and my business starting. Roller coaster someone? Yes, I didn't order it, but I got it. 5 years taught me that I thought that I'm really wise and I'm really strong and that you have to fake it till you make it. And that's when in 2016, I decided to unlearn that lesson. I gave it up. Because I don't want to fake it till I make it. I would like to cry about my sorrow for a while. Am I allowed to? And if it makes someone uncomfortable, they're allowed to walk away. That's their choice. But I refuse to fake it till I make it. Because guess what? When you fake it, no one knows. And when you fake it, you harm yourself so much more. It's a fallacy. You don't need to do that. That is when I realized that yes, there are a lot of quotations and lessons in life that we've learned through proverbs and idioms and books and lessons of the wise people of the yesteryears that don't apply today. They don't apply in today's world. In today's world, a woman is not pedestalized, though they want to, because if you pedestalize her, she's going to stay there. She's going to stay out of your way. She's going to stay out of your competition. So you pedestalize her. But that's not true anymore. We are getting down. We are being human. We are making mistakes. We are fighting our fights. And we are also making sure that you don't mess up. And that is why it's important to, yes, learn. But be willing to unlearn. Be willing to say, yes, I did that at some point of time, but not anymore. I don't think it's valid anymore. I think I need to learn a new lesson now, and between now and the lesson, I'm allowed to take some time. I'm allowed to be that kindergarten student that is not understanding anything and is just throwing a tantrum because doesn't know what to do. I think the life of that kindergarten student is so much better, isn't it? They don't know what to do, so they make your life hell. And that's nice. That's a wonderful advantage to have, isn't it? We forget about these small advantages that adversity can give us. You go through a problem, you get an opportunity to cry. But what do? I'm going to smile through the pain because I'm so strong. Do we need to do that? Can't we just actually admit, yes, I'm going through pain? And that's what I learned when I decided to take the plunge, leave a marriage that was hurting me, that was breaking me, that was turning me into an individual I didn't want to be. It was turning me into somebody who constantly envied people around me. I stopped applauding the people around me who are doing well, because every time someone did well, I felt bad about myself. And that's just not a nice place to be in. That's not a nice place for anyone to be in. And that's when I started to learn again. Learn to be happy. Did that mean that I threw some tantrums? Yes, I did. Did I make mistakes? Yes, I did. And that's okay. Because I don't think anyone has learned how to ride a bicycle here without falling. And if someone has, then let's meet later, because I want to know how you managed to do that. But that's what happens, right? When you get a wound, any wound, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, there is a process. You will bleed and it will hurt. That is the worst. And then there will be a scab, and the scab will get itchy, which is, in my opinion, even worse. You know that phase where you're not really hurt anymore, but so it's annoying. It's still there somewhere at the back of the head. That is a time when we are trying to heal from a trauma, and we tell ourselves that we are fine. And most of us don't realize that at that moment, we tell ourselves that we are fine, but we are not. We think we've moved on. We think we're done. But we're not really. We're still starting to heal. Kyuki, after the scab, once the scab goes, there's just a scar. But what we forget is that that scar is still sensitive. It's more sensitive than the other area around it. It will probably hurt a little more. That is when we think that others should behave according to us. Like, if I cannot handle something, then if you matter to me, you should not say it. Right? It's as simple as that. The real test is complete insensitivity to anything. It has to be absolutely normal. In 2018, I realized that I had reached that. It took me 2 years after leaving a horrible married life, coming back, spending a few months crying, spending another many, many months making innumerable Goa trips, and diving into work, spending a lot of time with friends, spending a lot of time with family. In 2018, I realized that I can see other people happy. I am not complaining about marriage anymore. Whenever someone tells me they're getting married, I don't tell them, what's wrong with you anymore. So that is when I realized that I healed. And that's when I learned another lesson. It is okay to take your time. Until you take your time, it is okay to be a little insufferable. It is okay. And when you accept that with yourself, you accept that with others. More often than not, the most selfish acts are important because that makes you a better person to others. If I allow myself to fail, it's okay if others fail around me. If I allow myself to break, I will support the ones that break around me. If I allow myself to cry, I won't stop someone from crying. I will let them cry. I will let them get it out. Earlier on in my life, I used to always be one of those shoulders that a lot of my friends cried on, and often spoke to me about what's going on in their lives, and I used to always be like, don't cry. Forget it, move on, dive into work, do this, do that. And after I actually did it, I decided to unlearn. Because sometimes all you need to do is get into that emotion. Feel it out, completely. Kuch nahi bacha rehna chahiye. Let it get done. Has anyone over here had a numb leg? Because you're sitting on it for too long or something? And have you tried getting up and walking immediately? 80% of the times you twist the foot when that happens. And you don't realize it immediately. It's when the numbness has come out that you realize that, oh man, you twisted your foot, it now hurts. And the heart and the emotions are just like that. When you're numb, don't make decisions, don't try to run. Because you will twist, and you will hurt, and it will hurt later. It will hurt when it's not supposed to. It will hurt in a way that you will hurt someone else. Which is why most people, when they say that hurt people, this is what it means. And that's when I came across another very beautiful quote in my life. If hurt people, then healed people, heal people. So if you can heal yourself, not on your own, please, if you need, take help. But if you can heal yourself, then you can definitely be instrumental in someone else's healing journey. See, adversities are inevitable. They're like Thanos, right? They're inevitable, they're massive, they seem like they're from another world. You can't defeat it. It's like you need infinity stones to do that. But I believe there's an Avenger in all of us. I believe that because of all the adversities that we've already gone through, I mean, we've seen these before. We've gone through it. We've seen others go through it, and we've made our mistakes, which is a beautiful thing. We've made our mistakes. Are we going to make more mistakes in the future? Of course. It's fun. Are we going to learn from them? Not necessarily. We may not. Or we may, just like I did, learn from an adversity that happened in 2010, in 2016. It was in 2016 that I realized that I put that entire void that was created in my life because of my father's passing into wanting a partner that could be the person that would protect me and take care of me. And so I fell for the Prince Charming disguise. I fell for it. And I expected him to make me happy. Big mistake. Why should anyone else make me happy? Right? I should make myself happy. And it would be nice to have someone along the way. Right? A lot of trauma that we go through does not have an immediate impact on our life. We think that adversity, whenever we think of an adversity, we will think of, oh, lost in life, bad clothes, no money, no job, no friends. You know, we think of the immediate impact of adversities. We think of the immediate symptoms of it. I also thought of it that way. I also thought that the day I stopped crying, I was over it. But no, that is just the fever. Your adversity is the infection. And that takes some time to go. Even if your fever has passed, you still need to finish the dose of antibiotics, right? It's the same. Adversities are the infection. And they take their time at going, but here's the thing, they're the infection. And more often than not, after you've gotten an infection once, you don't get it again. How beautiful is that? I'm not saying that adversities don't come again in life. They do. But only if you have started walking on a numb foot. And that is what this is all about. The learning, the unlearning, and the relearning. Entire lives of people go into focusing on either the adversity or the learning from it. And so we're in such a rush to reach from point A to point B that we don't enjoy either of them. I know, saying that enjoy your adversity sounds like a very, I don't know, like it sounds like an oxymoron in many ways. Enjoy your adversity? Like, can you even do that? Of course you can. Yes, you can. Live in it for a while, because it's not here for no reason. It is here for a reason, and it may not be what is very overtly clear to you, because if the lesson was so clear, then it would not need such a major adversity, right? If all you had to do was learn how to walk properly, you would have not had to have a major accident. A simple fall would have been fine. And so it's very important to not be in a rush. Don't be in a rush. The lesson will come. Live through it. Because unless you live through it, that is where the negative coping mechanisms come. Where you think that, oh yeah, my best friend is my therapist. No, a therapist is a therapist. Your best friend is your best friend. And maybe your best friend also needs a therapist. The right coping mechanisms in life come when you give time to the learnings. Because guess what? Once you've learned, you don't need a coping mechanism. Because there's nothing to cope. Because you're over it. And that's all that this is about. It's all about finding that inner Avenger in you and keeping it ready with a gauntlet so that when the Thanos comes and tries to take away half of your world from you, you can turn back and say, I am Iron Man, and be done with that war. And I think that's the end of what I'm going to say. Thank you so much.